Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the Art Review series, and today we'll be checking out the work of Chongzen085 here on X or Twitter. And yeah, let's begin. I think one of the most sort of noticeable features or things from their style is actually the hair. Like the way they do it is just, let me just zoom in on this one. Can we zoom in? Like if you look at it, it's very unique in like the anime sort of illustration world because they don't render it the same way others do. Like a lot of the shapes are so big and they don't really go into detail with like the strands and everything. Um like it's essentially one shape, right? Or a bunch of huge shapes. But essentially when you look at either the shadow or the area in light, like there are no strands, there are no what's the word? Variations in value as much. It's just the two major things. You have this area over here, right? Let me just can I use my pen? Like this thing over here, and then everything else sort of in shadow. I mean, yeah, you have some areas where it's a bit blended, where maybe the blur tool or blending brush is being used. But it's very minimal, which I do like. How do I delete this? Can I? Shit. Okay. Right? And this is pretty cool because it is a bit like raw and sketchy. And if you zoom in, there isn't that much brush variety. A lot of the areas here are just so solid, and you can tell like they're just using like a basic round brush for this one. So that's pretty cool, right? And I do see a little bit of that RGB shift effect. By the way, I do know apparently for the recent update or version of Clip Studio Paint, there is like a filter for chromatic aberration. Basically, it's the RGB shift thing. So I'm not sure if I should upgrade because I do have the EX. Technically, I had the Pro, but I found an EX, if you know what I mean. But I'm basically not updated to the newer stuff. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get it next year. But yeah, also the eyes, they're done simply too. Like you can tell a lot, or I think your style really shows, especially in like anime art, in how you render the eyes because it's always like usually bigger than usual. And I like how, let me just zoom in on this one. Do you see the slight gradient here? It goes darker on both ends. If you look at the eye itself, it's like, or the white part, it's so like plain, but the pupil, like even if the shapes are very chunked out and well designed, the way it's rendered, it's so like simple, or meaning it's just not as like they're not pumping the piece with so many like brushstrokes. And I do like the look of it. That this was actually more of a sketch in a way, or more of a quick illustration, because they have a lot more here that's way more like finished. Look at this one, right? And I do like seeing that consistency, and you will see it a lot with I guess with two things. It's gonna be the hair and the eyes. It's almost always done in the same way. But everywhere else, you don't see a lot of brush variety, very solid shapes being done, but it still feels somewhat, I guess, painterly in a way, because there are some imperfections in the edges, right? Even though it's mostly clean. I do see, like, whenever they're blending this part of the eye, or sorry, the hair, I even see a little bit of that brush spacing going on, like in this area over here, right? And it's a pretty spaced out brush. It's some kind of square brush or something, even here. So that's pretty much like the most noticeable bit of texture that happens. Everything else is just fairly clean, right? I do like this sketch really. It might be my favorite one. Look at this one. And I do like how they don't leave their background white. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just interesting seeing it in their work where they do like to fill it usually with some darker color, right? Again, let's zoom in on the hair on this one. I do see that RGB shift effect, right? Pretty cool. I guess it's stronger in the edges, but around the center, you don't see it as much. So that's interesting. You see the blue, the green, the red. So aside from that, again with the mixer brush here or some kind of blending slash mixer brush, and you can definitely see the brush spacing over here as well. But look at this whole area in light. It's just one big shape. Area in shadow, one big shape. And so basically whenever they do the hair, it's just one big silhouette. Silhouette. And then it's split into two, dark, light. And they're both like big shapes. And then in between you have like the blending brush with the brush spacing over here. Right? Pretty cool. It's a very simple approach. But I guess I bet if I try doing this, I'm still going to have a hard time because it's just hair is very complicated, right? There's so many like things going on. So I do think you do need to be or have a little bit of that intuition to know like how the hair ought to flow. Not just correctly, but in terms of like style or just it has to look good flowing, right? The ear as well. I do see a little bit of saturation in this part. Kind of the underlighting. Even here in the bottom part of the or the under part of the eyebrow. Same thing here. So I do see in the skin that's where most of the underlighting tends to be a lot more saturated. So that's something to take note of. But yeah, it's very similar to this sketch over here, right? As you go further down in the image, right here, it gets less finished. And most of their painting is fairly opaque, meaning you don't see a lot of brushes with opacity, meaning you layer stroke after stroke. It's just they try to achieve like a very solid footprint or brush print, right? For example, if you look at the undershirt over here, let me just bring it back. It's one big shape. If you look at the zipper thingy here, it's like one brush stroke, one brush stroke, one brush stroke, one brush stroke, right? There's no like by opacity, like you know how when you have a brush that has opacity rendered this way, where you have multiple strokes, that's not being done here. It's like one big stroke and then one big stroke, right? And then maybe like a mixer brush in between. I like it. He's kind of hot though. Can I? Let's go further down. Now this one does have a background, right? Oh, now this one feels more like a complete illustration. The images are large, so you're gonna have a good time zooming in. But the way they render the face, or sorry, the hair, the eyes, is the way they render everything. It's very sort of, again, opaque. This one, they're adding a bit of effects to showcase like the glass. The guy's clearly seeing things from the outside. He's taking a photograph, so there's a lot of like narrative storytelling going on here. I do like the way the flowers were done as well. I'm not sure if it's like a photo. Maybe some parts of it are painted, but I think it's some kind of like photo bash. And some parts are just painted in. But I think it's a really good mix. Or it doesn't look out of place, so it's a good technique. But even the way the kimono or something, right? Big shapes. I do see a lot more value variation here in the shadows, right? So I guess for more fuller illustrations, they do go a little more. They just add more values, I guess, right? The faces are still left very simple, and even the hands, you don't see a lot of like the folds or the knuckles. It's very sort of like the line work. If you do see the lines, it's very clean and not very sketchy. Right? Same thing with the face. If you look at the line work, the edge of the contour of like the chin, the profile of the face, the eyes, it's very not very tight, but it's just more well done or more polished maybe. Wait, can you see a glare here? Jesus. And yeah, their style is very, very consistent too. Like look at this one. This one's maybe like a Prince or something. Let me just have some coffee here. But yeah, I do like it. It's a much more fuller illustration, but this one's more like a basic profile pic, right? A close up of the face. But I think that again, this is a good example of the essentials of their style. The way they do the scarf is the same way they do the The hair are two major values and then some variation here and there. I do see a little bit of like that gradient action. It does get a little darker here and then it gets lighter as you go to the top. So there's that. So, but it's very minimal though. You have to be careful with that. Again, with the eyes, the way they do the line work, it's like they did it with like a mechanical pencil, and it's not sketchy at all. It's very sort of well planned in the beginning, and yeah, very clean. But the way they paint though, there's a bit of that edginess to the work. I wouldn't say it's sketchy. It's just like they don't mind adding like these parts over here where it's a bit more, you know, it just makes it more artsy. If it's too clean, sometimes it can make it look too unhuman. But that's not a bad thing though. It just adds more of the artsy sort of feel, right? Seeing incomplete stuff. Or look at this one. I think this is Miku. I'm not even sure where she's from. Is she from a game, a movie? But she's very famous. Is she even Miku? I mean, just basing it off the hairstyle, looks kind of like her. I don't think so. Fuck. But again, sorry. But again, look at the way the shirt or the jacket was done. The hair was done. It's pretty chunked out. Like the shapes are so clear. You do see a lot of that smoother action with the hair, with the gradients, with the mixer brush. For the jacket, they do amp up, say, there's a lot more sharper shapes in the shadow areas. With the hair, it's more like gradients, right? It leans more on the gradient side. I do see a bit of a fang on her like mouth, so very kawaii. Maybe they have a book out. I'm not sure. Wait, what's this? Is this a process video? I'm not sure. Maybe it's like a photo or a print. Look at that. Oh, this is pretty cool, right? And the color schemes, they're not that complicated. They like to stick to just looking at the colors. One major color or one accent color, and then everything else is sort of, I do see a lot of like yellows and reds. So they do lean more on the warmer side of things. Well, like this one. This one does have gray hair or silver hair. But yeah, it's about the same. It is a bit more sketchy in the bottom, but it still has that same vibe. And like the eyes are quite big, but they're so like deep. Like it makes you want to look at them more. Like they're always, I don't know, they feel so heavy in a way. I'm not sure how they're doing that, but oh, she's cute, right? It does get a bit more painterly in the bottom, right? More chaotic, but it's still fairly clean. Chaotic in terms of their artwork in relation to their other pieces, but to everyone, or to most artwork you see out there, it's definitely more cleaner. Oh, this one's cool. I want to check out this one. So they were playing with the hairstyles here, right? Very interesting. And again, they have that painting approach where it's opaque. It's way faster, I think, and you can just get a lot of done. Wait, let me just pause the video because I do see that glare and that can damage my fucking. The natural lighting was good, but I'm not a fan of that glare. But yeah, anyway, I guess that's it. I don't want to take too long reviewing this artist because that's essentially the, oh shit, cats. The bulk of their work, right? Oh, this one's, let me just zoom in on this one. Oh, this one's a freaking big image. They have a very like classy look too to their artwork. Like it's so bougie or bourgeois. Is that a word? Like high class people, like princes, princesses, royalty, right? Very regal vibes here. Is it a violin? Or a sword? A violin bow or a sword? I'm not sure, but... Oh, I think this is Miku. Come on, right? So I do recommend you check out their artwork, and I will link this page, this X page, in the description below. Definitely a lot to see, and I actually do recommend you zoom in because they do post high quality images. So that's it for this art review of Chongzhen, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!